Hey, how's it going, guys? It's Door or Door Shutter coming back to you with episode 4 of the Direwolf20 1.19 mod pack, and today we're fixing some mistakes. So, last episode, I watched this farm between this episode and last, and it did not function. Okay, I've actually went through the original set of villagers; they all died, and the reason that is because of them being able to reach from that block to this bed, or well, there was a bed here, and sleep. Okay? So we're going to have to figure that out. All right? And I think the first goal here is to kind of just clear out this second spot. So let's just try to figure this out. All right. So I've taken this out. Now, let's try and figure out the bed placement. Okay. So I am thinking if we place a bed here, 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 and here, this should work just fine, I believe. Okay? And this should be perfect. So one of these is actually a baby, by the way. Okay, so you are normal. You are the child. Okay? And in doing so, we will also need to change this up. Can't forget about that. We're actually going to change this whole bottom portion up because we need to get these guys away from this area so more villagers can actually be bred. I completely forgot about that being a thing, but we need to do that. So now if I pop this guy in here and this guy in here, let's grab our magnet tool here. All right. So they shouldn't be able to access that area at all. All right. So what I want to do is probably create a water channel. We need to get it away from here, right? So I wish I had like a portal of some sort. I know if I had a magic mod, probably be easier, but ooh, actually, these require plastic, don't they? These require leather. Can these transfer entities? I mean, not item entities, but normal living entity. Actually, we have a baby villager. We could test this out. Okay, let's go get some stuff real quick. Actually, I don't have any leather on me, right? I have 3 pieces. That'll work. And we should have everything else we need. Yes. I mean, we'll have to smelt up some iron, but that's fine. All right, so we've made 1 set of these. So what I want to do is quickly just make a loop. Deploy him. Okay, so he does get moved around. This is absolutely perfect. Okay, so what we can do instead of using water streams is just cart these guys away basically with a conveyor belt. So we'll just do a 2 deep, right? 2 deep system, or 2 deep trench basically. Throw these conveyors at the bottom, and then that way they're able to be sent off into a conveyor system, right? That'll push them far enough away to actually make this work properly. All right, so we're kind of on the right track here. I think this will work. I'm excited. We're kind of incorporating a mod into a vanilla trading system, and I think this will be so much easier. All right, so we're going to definitely need more conveyors and stuff. I'm not worried about that right now. Kind of just want to get it started. So I kind of want to route it over into this area. I want to put the villager trading hall, I believe, like right here. So villager breeder, we should have made this the other way then, but that's all right. Actually, also, I tried capturing this guy, by the way. It doesn't work. Oh, it does work. Haha. Monster balls are kind of iffy. I guess it's like a percentage of when they actually can capture something. So it's kind of interesting, but all right. So, can I waterlog these? Okay. So, it'll basically send him from the stream into this, right? And then we should be able to just say go here. So you come along the stream. So you're like, oh no, I fell. And then you should get pushed over in this direction. Perfect. All right, so we want to just kind of keep that up. We definitely could flip this. I don't think I really want to. I kind of want to. This will also help with age. Because at the end of this, they should be, a decent amount older. Because, I mean, this isn't going to be that fast. But at the same time, it's not going to be like super old baby villager at the end of the day either. So, I guess it just doesn't matter. I'm going to do it this way because I've already got it set up this way and I'm too lazy to fix it. Maybe one day. Alright, so let's just take this out. And let's just route it way over here. Also, off camera, I've been making silent gear tools, by the way. I made a saw. If you don't know what this is, basically you can come over to a tree and cut it down in one swing. This is basically like the lumber axe from Tinker's, and it's fantastic. I've also made an excavator and a hammer, basically 3x3 with dirt, or dirt, gravel, sand, all that jazz, and then anything that's stone. Anything can be mined with a pickaxe, anything can be mined with a shovel. They're basically compressed iron handles with the leather grips, flaxseed bindings, and nothing really too special. Just, wanted to point that out. I've just kind of been making utilities and not really talking about them too much. But that's what I've been doing. I've also been making blueprints left and right, so we can actually have all the silent gear blueprints. Alright, so I wanted to try something new, but it didn't work. So I actually popped back onto 1.18.2. That's where I'm currently at. Don't worry, nothing's changed. This is the old farm, right? And I don't think I actually ever got a decent shot of this in the last season. I don't know why, but basically it was just a normal farm, 2 composters on each side, 2 villagers, trapdoors here and here and here, and this actually works, okay? And it's closed in and everything, so I'm not 100% sure right now. So, I'm going to take this design, transfer it to 1.19, I mean, just build it in 1.19, not like transfer it. So, I'm going to get to work on that, and I'll see you guys in a second. Alrighty, so I'm back over in the current version. Sorry about that. That was probably a bit jarring. I didn't really think about it until now, but I'm going to revamp this whole thing because if this is not going to work, then there's no point in just like wasting time with this. So I'm actually going to flip this whole thing around, right? We're going to take this out. We're going to take this out, put the wall here, and we're basically going to just not do it this way, okay? So let's get all the beds. Let's get this little building out of the way. And this should be better. But the only reason I showed you guys the clip of 1.18 is because I went back to look at my old videos and I didn't see a single video of me actually showing how I built it. I don't know why. That was my fault. But I don't know why or how that happened. And yeah, we're going to just build it that same way. Hopefully it'll work. And hopefully we'll be able to have villagers. I was hoping last episode it'd be done, but oh well, it didn't happen. So let's get it done this time. Let's do it right. And, I'm going to get this cleaned up, and I'll actually be back on camera to do this properly. Alrighty, so let's get on this. So the first thing that we're going to do is actually take out these villagers just for now. Get them out of the way so they don't mess anything up or, don't die. So we got Steve, and then we got the other villager. Perfect. So now what we'll need to do is basically create a gap for the villagers to say, oh, I can go through here. Alright. Now what we can do is grab more trapdoors. we'll need quite a bit of trapdoors. And we'll place a trapdoor here, 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 and here. And then we're going to dig out a hole. We don't need the excavator, really. Just need my shovel. Alright, so we'll dig out a 2 wide hole. I believe 2 wide. That'll be alright. We can actually just go down a third. Should be fine. Okay. And then trapdoor here, here, here. Oop, nope. I was actually right-clicking on the farmland, and that harvested it. That's interesting. Anyway, trapdoors here. Okay. I can pull out a magnetic pickaxe here. Okay. And then what we can do now is put the bed, I believe, here, here, and here. And only need 3, by the way. Okay. And then, of course, what we can do now is also then cover up this whole area. Just like so. And we can put glass and all of that stuff in here for now. You know, just make it look a little nice. Also, this top part was just a preemptive me trying to not kill the villagers and also leaving some space. And leaving the space was kind of pointless, but that's all right. All right, so we're going to go here. Going to go here. All right, and then we'll just do this. I will need to get more glass, right? No, I actually got 13 pieces. And we really don't need the glass here. All right. And then we can actually make a normal entry way. All right, perfect. Okay, so this should be a better thing, I hope. All right, so we're going to spawn this guy here. And we're going to walk directly into the floor. I meant to do that. All right, and we're going to set another one. And we'll just pick up this capsule. All right, so now they shouldn't be able to walk across this at all. But we should have the villagers being able to be bred. Or breed, whatever you want to call it. So if we throw bread there, they should come pick it up. Okay. For now, we're just going to grab a couple buttons. I will change this out in a minute. With player plates. Maybe. Are they just not seeing these beds? These beds should be perfect. Alright. I'm going to give them some time. I'm going to go grab some more water. So now we just need to worry about transferring these guys from point A to point B. Which will be actually in the front direction since we moved it all around. Perfect. Okay. Let me get the transfer system set up because it's basically what I did last time. We're going to use water to funnel them in at the first and then going to lead them into a conveyor system that will go that direction. Okay, so we actually got our first villager, and he is running away, which he won't get very far because I'm just going to do this. Okay, so we know it's working. We've got a villager. I need to figure out how I want to do a baby separator type thing down here because at the end of the day, we'll need to separate them. So what I'm thinking is use a sign somehow. I want to kind of build how we had it the first way, where, you know, they'll fall into a hole or fall into the end of a water stream and then won't be able to proceed because of the, what do you call it? Proceed because it's at the end of the water stream, right? So we'll basically say, hey, this ends here. No, how did we do this? So we want this to end like right here. Let me figure this out. I'll be right back. Alrighty, so I think we have the transfer system, quote unquote, done. It's not 100% how I would like it, but it is going to work, and that'll be fine. Alright, so let's cover this up. So if we go in here, and we realize we didn't actually complete the top layer of this. It's still not got a roof. We also need to light up the roof, by the way. That's another thing. Can't forget that. Probably will, but, you know, I'll say I can't forget that. Alrighty, so let's release a baby villager. Okay. Let's travel down here. So he's fighting it. There he goes. So it'll just take a second because they can't outrun that. That's fine. So he should be traveling just down under where I'm walking. And at some point, he should end up down here. At some point. There he is. So he cannot travel up until he grows up, which is what I'm looking for. Okay. And we can just cover this back up here. And we should have villagers coming out of this. Okay, perfect. Awesome. And I think what I want to do is exactly what I was trying to do earlier, which is trapdoor here. So I can just throw in a mob ball or whatever and actually access this. There we go. So I can just open one mob ball or monster ball, whatever, and call it a day. Alrighty. So where am I at here? F3G. So I'm just in the center of a chunk. Okay. So I think this should be completed. F3G. We don't have to worry about this. I really wish I got this correct on the first try, but I didn't. And that's okay. So now we can say we've got the mob farm completed, or the villager breeder completed. Now we just kind of got to work on getting the trading hall, which I most likely will work on outside of episodes, most likely in a stream or two. And yeah, that's fantastic. Alrighty. So with that, let's move on to something else. Let me clean up my inventory first off, and I'll be right back. Alright, so I just, that wandering trader that I had in a ball, I actually just put him back. I only wanted that wandering trader because he was trading this for 20 emeralds. It's Perry the Platypus, Detective Platypus. I now have a statue of Perry the Platypus. Alright, anyway, cleaning up my inventory. Alright, so I have done some stuff. of course, you can see that I've actually completed the building. This wasn't done on a live stream. You guys didn't miss anything. I legitimately just took some time, went and found a Badlands. I actually have one way over here. But I actually went down here because this is actually closer, like 2,000 blocks. But I found a pillager outpost. I marked that. I think I found a sky village, and I found this like ship over here. I don't 100% know what that is, but I didn't explore it. I just saw it and left. Um, but yeah, we have like an attic area. I've expanded the windows. We can actually kind of just see out them, and the house is complete. That's basically the gist. I've put iron gates or iron doors here, and I've made obsidian pressure plates, which if you don't know what an obsidian pressure plates is from Player Plates, this is a fantastic mod. I actually learned about this in Tekkit 2, and it has been ported to 1.19.2. I don't know about 1.19.3, but basically it allows for players to be the only thing that can trigger this pressure plate. Of course, it requires obsidian and a pane of glass to make these invisible ones, which is what I'm using here. So you can't see them, but you can walk over them and you can just walk back and forth. It's absolutely fantastic. Don't have to worry about it. Iron doors, all of that jazz. Okay. Now, the house is, it's done. It's roof is everything completed. I don't know if it looks the greatest. I mean, that's kind of just personal opinion. I like it. I think it's interesting. It's different than anything else I've ever done, but it works. That's the other thing. So we've got a fully functioning house, roof over our head and everything. Also, I'll give you guys a little sneak preview. You guys can actually see this on the mini map. This wasn't recorded or anything, but the villager trading hall is coming along. It's not too fancy. But you can see I have a row over here to the left, which is basically like row 1. Those wooden planks, by the way, are villagers. There are some in there. They don't have jobs or anything. I just temporarily put them in there behind a plank so that way I can have them so no entity cramming happens over there. This is actually 2 chunks. You've got your first chunk and then your second chunk is that back half. But you got 2 rows per section. And then, of course, I can stack this higher if need be. But it's working, so we got a few out there. And of course my inventory is crammed full from doing building and stuff like that. So let's just quickly throw away some logs and let's get on to the next thing. Quickly, I want to get into thermal. It's always a gamble if I want to get into thermal or mechanism. And mechanism requires a little bit more to get into. So thermal is usually your best bet to quickly and efficiently get into ore processing. And that's what we're going to work on real quick with the last few minutes we have available. So what do we need for ore processing? Well, first things first, we need a pulverizer. A pulverizer will break the chunks down into dust, or they should. Let me see, make sure I'm actually talking about this right. So yes, you'll get this into nickel grit with an additional chance of 25%. So there's always a possibility that you'll get more grit. And then of course you have a 5% chance of producing some other ore or some other dust. Okay. So that's awesome. And that's just kind of one of the best ways to do it, because if you do get more, good. If you don't, oh well, you didn't really lose a whole lot. Now the other thing we'll need is a redstone furnace, or a furnace. You could just use a normal furnace, but these are both RF powered, and that's awesome. So basically throw in the dirt, or not the dirt, the dust, and you'll be able to get an ingot out of this. Perfect. Awesome. Now, what we need to do now is figure out power. Power is simple, but also not simple, because we need to figure out what type of power we want to go with. Because this is our starting power, it's going to be, hey, this is going to be ours for just a minute here. So there is power. Power has a lot of decent abilities to give, such as energy cells. These are basically just energy storage. We also have the furnator, which is basically like a coal generator. But these are expensive, right? These do get up there with expense. And it looks like we probably wouldn't be able to get into this currently because we need blaze powder, which is not something I have. So we'll look at the next mod. Of course, we have mechanisms, generators. which is like solar panels, gas burning, heat generators, solar panel advanced, bio generators. So this is stuff we don't have enough resources to get into. Heat generators would be good, but we don't really have lava. I actually haven't seen a decent source of lava in this pack yet, underground. So that's another option gone out the window. So at thermal, we have dynamos. Dynamos are kind of your base point, and that looks like where we're going to have to go, because I don't think we have any sort of coal generators that would be useful. So it looks like you've got coal generators from Ad Astra, but that looks like it has a different source of, or a different output, which is zaps or electric volts per tick. I'm not 100% sure. So let's go with what we know we can actually craft. All right, so what we'll need is an iron gear, and we'll need gold and some redstone. And this may or may not be enough to power both machines, but we'll see. And then we'll need some sort of stone. All right. And this will use coal to power these machines. Something else we need is a cable of some sort, some power. Okay. We do have laser IO, which would allow for us to provide power. Of course, this requires nether quartz, and I don't really have a whole lot of nether quartz because I really didn't see a whole lot. If we had, let's see, because I don't even see a recipe to break these down. So we'd have to have mechanism. Yeah, we'd have to have mechanism in an enrichment chamber. So that'd be a whole process. So we don't have nether quartz as much as I would like. We have 7. So I think what I'm going to do for now is make a pulverizer, right? Let's get that pulverizer going first. So it requires copper and machine frames, which require tin, iron, and a whole bunch of other stuff. So let me get actually some ores smelted down real quick. I'm going to get some copper. I'm going to get some iron. Looks like we have like 32 chunks in here. I'm going to get some tin, and I will be right back in a second here. Alrighty, and we have a pulverizer. So what we'll do now is we will take a pulverizer and this Sterling Dynamo. We'll just place this over in this corner. Come on. Pretty sure I can just do that. And this should allow for me to power the pulverizer. So let's actually just take 32 coal, throw that in here. And now what we can do is we can take some of these chunks, for example, this iron, and we can throw that in here. But I do not think we have any real energy cables. Looks like we have cyclics. I mean, we could try and see if cyclics are compatible. I would need some stone, though. I don't think I actually have any stone. Okay, let me grab that. Alrighty, so I got the cables. Let's take out this dynamo here, and we'll put an energy cable here. Actually, no. I want to do... I really need to make a crescent hammer, which I will do in a second here. We'll put energy cable, energy cable, energy cable, Sterling Dynamo, and we'll go grab a crescent hammer, which if you don't know what a crescent hammer is, it is basically the... How in the world do you spell crescent? Am I just butchering it? Okay. The one letter I didn't try. It's basically the wrench of thermal dynamics, thermal expansion, thermal foundation. It's the wrench for all of those mods. And you can actually rotate the blocks with this to allow for you to actually just do what I just did and face it the opposite direction. And now if we get a redstone furnace, which I haven't made yet, which isn't too expensive. Just kind of more repetitive crafting here. And of course, sooner or later, of course, we'll get to AE2, and that will allow for us to have a combined storage system and the P2P connections and all of that fancy jazz that I'm excited to see. because it has been a long time, and especially since they have changed up the actual way to do Certus quartz and all of that stuff as well. That'll definitely bring some interesting components into it, and all of that as well. So let me get some bricks, and I will be right back. Alrighty, so we're getting the final pieces here, and we have a redstone furnace. So now what we'll be able to do is just say, hey, configuration, input, output, enabled. Say output to the right, and then input into here from the left. And you can see that we do not have enough power because this actually ran out. So let's throw some coal back in there. And we should be having enough power to maintain these two machines. And now we have automatic ore processing. Well, semi-automatic because we still have to throw the ore in there. If we wanted to fix that, getting an ender chest of some sort would allow for us to automate this because we could just get an ender pouch and throw that back and forth. You know, when we're mining, just throw all of it in there, and then it gets filtered into a drawer system or something of that sort, which will be future plans. All right, and we can just do input and output of chests, and that is fantastic. Good, good, good. And it looks like we are cruising with this set of iron. Now, if we grab, for example, just grab 4 stacks of this, some of this stuff. Let me actually just quickly toss away some of these blocks so I can actually quickly grab some more tin and some osmium and some lead. Okay. Just for now. I'll definitely process all of this off camera, but the furnace will have, you know, a little bit more to process because of this nickel ore. If I was really wanting to, I could make Invar with this nickel dust, but I'm just going to smelt it immediately into ingots and go from there. So with that, we are going to wrap up this episode. Thank you guys so much for watching. I am genuinely enjoying the Direwolf20 pack, and hopefully I'll be able to explore some more of the ships once we get better armor and actually get towards getting Goober. Hopefully next episode we can make a push towards getting the digital miner, which is actually one of my mini goals of any Direwolf20 Let's Play series, is getting the digital miner as quickly and as, you know, efficiently as possible. Of course, this has kind of been inefficient because I haven't, you know, processed a lot of ores and all of that in the latest episodes. And of course, this has been a little bit delayed because I haven't really been focusing on this. Just trying to gather resources as much as possible. And so that is that. The digital miner should be coming up in at least an episode or two because we'll make a full push towards Mechanism once we have quite a bit of resources. Thank you guys so much for watching. Stay awesome, and I hope to see you guys around. Bye-bye!